But as a result, the reason we can put up more prices and a bit more money is we sit down and we can map out. You go on a whiteboard and you can map out exactly what you could offer people. So a good way to do this is you could think to yourself, okay, hi everybody, sorry the camera just turned around weirdly then right last minute, so it turned my stand around to get that. But yeah, worried about prices. Are you worried about charging people for your service or putting your prices up, for example? So there's two ways that you can compete on price, and probably not what you think they are. The two ways is, number one, you either just keep on dropping your price. Yeah, number two is to add more and more value to what you're creating. So how do you do this? How do you make your product or service more valuable? So you could be selling one of the many things. You could be trying to sell to investors and charge them a fee for you finding them properties. So for example, if you just found them properties, as in bought it, sold the deal to them and the lead to them, that would be worth a lot less than if you bought it and you managed to refurb. It'd also be worth less if you bought it, managed to refurb and found them their first tenant, you know? So the more value you add into this, the more you can charge for somebody. It might be your coach. At the moment, I'm doing coaching. So the way you make price not an issue is packing in the value of the service that you're trying to deliver to people. Lettings, I'm a lettings company, so as opposed to trying to just charge people, really compete 8%, I get a lot of people ask me about my lettings in my area, and I was talking to a few investor, and again, it depends on your clientele and the type of your ideal customer, which you should understand who your ideal customer is, the type of customer you want to attract. But in my lettings company, I speak to other investors in the area I invest in, and they always say to me, how much can you charge? I get 8% at the moment, I get this much. I'm just not going to compete on price. Firstly, I don't want, my avatar is not so much investors anyway, because they are super entrepreneurial, wanting everything the cheapest they can, a lot more demanding. My avatar in my lettings company is as a busy professional who's got a few investment properties, who understands fees, that's happy to pay me a fee. Very similar to my investor type profile. But as a result, the reason we can put up more prices and a bit more money is we sit down and we can map out. You go on a whiteboard and you can map out exactly what you could offer people. So a good way to do this is you could think to yourself, okay, let's think, what can I add to this to make this more valuable? So a great example, I've heard this from Russell Brunson. A great example is, he said about a phone that he had. He said, look, I've got this phone for sale. Just bought it from Apple last week. It's £700. Whatever the right price is for a phone, £700. Who wants to buy it? If you wanted to compete against people to try and sell you a phone and compete against Apple, you'd either have to have a race to the bottom. And he says, Dan Kennedy says, there's zero strategical advantage of being number two lowest price. You've either got to be the lowest or not. But again, why do you want to be lowest? You can either, there's two ways in business you can approach your business as well. This is why a lot of businesses really struggle as well, because you either go the EasyJet route, not the EasyJet route, I mean the Ryanair route. And what O'Leary says is, look, if you want leg room and you want meals and all this extra service, pay for a more expensive flight. If you want a flight for £17, then come with us. But the bells and whistles were took out, and he's really transparent and honest about that, and I like that. As much as people complain about EasyJet, I mean not EasyJet, Ryanair, loads of people still go on it. But it's true, if you don't like that service, just pay extra for it. Or people, I remember coming out of a hotel I stay in when I got to my remote investing location, and I stayed all the time because it's reasonably priced. The food menu there's got some healthy choices on there, and it's got a gym there. It's not the greatest hotel, but at the price barrier, it's fantastic for that price, you know. And I remember walking out one day, and I was just behind some people, and they was like, oh yeah, just filled out the feedback form. This was terrible, that was terrible, this was terrible. And the woman behind the counter was a bit okay, and I could see her face as they walked off. She rolled her eyes a little bit, and I said, I'm just going to give you a feedback as well, if you don't mind. I think this is a fantastic service for the price barrier you're in. So what the money I paid for, no, it wasn't for Four Seasons or anything like that, but for the price I paid, it was great value for that price. And this is what people get mixed up in, especially in business and especially consumers. Everybody wants the lowest price but the best service. But if you're a business provider, if you keep on trying to compete on price, there's no way you're going to be able to compete keep up with giving service for that. So you have to make a choice. Do you want to be virgin or do you want to be right now? So you have to make the choice of, do you want to add value? So I'm going to give you some tips around adding some value into your offers. So for me, example, at the moment we're building out our lettings package. So in our lettings package, you can maybe offer rent insurance. You can offer doing everything, because not every agent can. Back in the day when the 10% rule got put out, whoever put that out, I don't think they made it on any statistics apart from this is charge 10% of the rent, because I think we can get away with that. Back then there was no gas certificates, there was no like deposit schemes, there was no regulation basically, so it's so much easier. You could literally go and get a AST from WH Smith, sign on the bit of paper, move a person in and forget about it. And there was no laws about section 21s and all this other stuff. So lettings was a fairly easy business and people should charge 10% for something that was very easy and collect a lot of money. Where fast forward today, there's so much more regulation behind the scenes that go on, and because of the online presence that turned up, loads of people compete on price on their service as a letting agent. But then what ends up happening is they fracture at the back end. So you might pay the lowest price with an agent, but because they're competing on price, they cannot deliver the service that you need as a landlord today. So again, in our business, to be fair, in our lettings business, we have to say, look, you can have this barrier, pay this much, or this much. Same as in my coaching, you can have it cheaper and just buy the digital products, which don't involve me, but it's got all the information there. Or you can have it with me, where we're in a group environment and we train like a group of you. Or you can have one-on-one, and as you go up there, it gets more expensive, obviously, you know. So, but you obviously get more, and as you get further up on that, in my training as well, I add more like manuals, more check sheets, and more stuff that you can plug in their business. Not only is it just more valuable because they're getting more of a tailored service directly focused on them, but it's also they'll get added bonuses to it. So the way you can do this is, I'm building out a product at the moment. And this investable investor pack is for training people how to find investors and everything. So I sat there and I just worked it out. I was like, okay, I just worked out, let's move this across here. I didn't think I was going to do this, but I put it on a whiteboard, for example, and I said to myself, okay, what can I give them, which is a written product, which is a spoken product. I'm not sure how this is going to work. What is a physical product? Or other product. Then you start trying to think of things that you can add into these products, into there, to make it. You don't add them all in, by the way. So what you do is you think of what could I make this product so irresistible, so sexy? What things can we add to it? So for example, for me, for this investable investor pack, I'm starting off by giving somebody something away that's really, really good. Up here, I'm thinking, right, I'm going to give them something away. Sorry, this is in reverse. I will take a picture of this at the end and turn it around for you, because I didn't expect to do this, but I'll just run with it. But yeah, what can I give them away? So what I'm giving away at the front end is my template for proposals. So this is the template sheet that I go to investors with and show them the deal, and it looks really professional, looks nice. So I'm giving that away. Like when I've done my first one, that cost me £300 from a designer, the first one. So I'm giving a template away that they can make their own as well. So I feel that's a really good thing to give away. I was a bit like, should I give it away? But then my next stage of this offer is I'm going to charge some people some money for some stuff. So down here, I'm thinking, what is something written I can give away? So this is the proposal. I can give them away my investor pack, portfolio pack. I can give them a ebook. Some of these you might not have created either, but you just think, what more things spoken? I could give them some video trainings. I could give them maybe links to some podcasts. And maybe some YouTube videos, and not even just of mine. I can just accumulate other people's stuff that I found good value from, accumulate it together and give them links. Physical stuff, I could give them the tripod that which I'm recording this on now. I could give that away with the offer. I could give them the lighting I use. And this is how you start building your offers out. And then you think to yourself, okay, if I'm going to sell this offer at £37, what could I take from down here and put up there? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, obviously the proposal sheet's already in there. That investor pack, I could maybe add in a bit of a video training on how to put this investor pack and this proposal together. So I start building out these offers up here. So I start really packing it out. So then it's not just I'm trying to sell this as a package, as a template. I'm adding lots of bits to it. So I'm adding a video guidance of how you can put that template together yourself or re-edit that template, and just adding bits and more on it. If I wanted to make another offer next to it, I could pack it out. So I could have an online coaching program on the other coaching program. I could think, well, okay, I'll start adding this up here, and really start building out your offer as you add up money. So the way you can compete on price is not by competing on. Let's quickly turn that around for you guys. It's not by racing to the bottom on price. The thing is with price, you can try and race that to the bottom on price, but the thing with doing that is you've got to make sure you've got the clear margin. It's no fun really competing on price, but you've got to add enough value. If you keep on adding layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of value in, the price then becomes irrelevant. You know, if it's so valuable, going back to the example when I said about the iPhone, sorry, I didn't finish that. I got sidetracked. And go back with the example. So Russell Brunson says this, I think it's either in his book or it's on one of his podcasts. I study him a lot, so I've seen it probably in more than one place because he shares his things in more than one place. But he says to people, what did I just do with my spare iPhone? Just had it there a second ago, so what did I do with it? Anyway, he says, look, I've got this iPhone. Who would give me £700 what I paid for it? And like he was in an audience of about... he was in a big audience, I don't know how many people, but he's in a big audience, asked people, he said, by the end of this, I'm going to get somebody to pay me £100,000 for this phone. And he said, so initially he said, who wants to pay me just £700,000? Who wants to pay that? And nobody put their hand up. He said, who wants to pay £700? What I pay for it? Nobody. You just go to Apple and buy that, or go online and buy it. So then he went, and he's a really big guy, like really big business guy. Go and check him out. Really good to follow and understand business. Oh, there's my spare phone. So he's saying, right, okay, in this phone, I have got loads of people's contacts, like Tony Robbins, and just big names, Robert Kiyosaki. All these people's contacts are in this phone. So if you phone them from this phone, you'll get straight through to them and you'll be able to partner a deal and be able to work something out with them. Also in this phone, all my operations manuals on a G drive is in this phone for all the operation manuals to run my business ClickFunnels. Also in this phone is I bought over £500,000 worth of online courses and having burnt and put into this phone because I just studying them and reverse engineering. They're also in this phone, over £500,000 worth of courses. And he goes on and starts adding the bits of all the books that I've ever read, either through ebooks and through to Audible, all in this phone. So I've got over so many hundred books, like 500 books in this phone. So, and then he went, right, now who wants to give me £700 for his phone? He said everybody's hand went up, and his bid went all the way up to £750,000 because the contacts he's got and the stuff in his manuals in his phone was really valuable to some of these really high end business people. And 3 people still had their hand up at £750,000. So this is creating an offer as opposed to a product. You want to build out what you're doing into an offer. So if I just try to sell these templates on their own, try and get it around there a little bit. So if I just try to sell these templates on their own, that would just be a product. So I'm just trying to sell a product. But if I pack it around with all these stuff, so when I've done this exercise, this was packed out with loads and loads of ideas of what we can add into it. So, and if I start packing these out, I'm then make it into an offer as opposed to just a straightforward product, then becomes more valuable. And then the price, like I think that's worth £37 on its own, you know, to be fair, but I'm giving that away just to show people the value of what it is, and then packing that out around that, showing them how to, the video guidances and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, what you have to make a conscious decision on how you want to run your business and how you want to compete. And competing on price is not a pretty way to compete. So difficult. It's just a lot of competition at the bottom. Competing on price. What you want to be doing is making sure you have the value. You can't just put your prices up without adding value. So again, in my lettings company example, at the moment we're creating a members area, like as well, that where when we get new landlords and they sign on, they've got like a little members area with drop down bars. It'll say how to get paid, how to sign contracts, and it's got all these little bars in there, so when they click on it, it's got video guidance of everything they need in that, you know. So it gives them more value. We send out guides to landlords throughout. So in the winter's just come now, we've sent a guide to the landlord how to maintain their property, and if they want us to look at that for them. We also send guides and ebook guides out to our tenants. Autumn's coming, this is how you look after your property. We show landlords that we do that throughout the year, so we're educating their tenants and looking after their tenants for them. So this creates these ebooks that we've created that creates more value for the landlord, so then we don't have to compete so much on the lower price. You know, we show them our record on how we collect rents and the software we use to collect rents to make sure we keep right on top of it, which we're really well on top of that. So, and the software we use for making them report repairs and never having to miss a repair and never being taken to court because you didn't recognise a repair, like, or acknowledge a repair, because the software does that, or the out of hours stuff. So all this stuff we're adding and adding to it. You know, it costs us a bit to add to it, but then we eliminate the competitive, like competing on price. We will. You get two types of customer, and you get the customer that wants the lowest price, but generally they're the most difficult customers you have to deal with. The people that want a good service and happy to pay for that are much easier clients to deal with in general. Not, there's always an exception of rule, but generally the people that really haggling hard on price are the customers that are most demanding. So yeah, have a think about that, guys. Hope you found that useful. Let me know what you're thinking about in your business. Have you come across this thinking, should I put my prices up? Can I put my prices up? If you are thinking of it, think of how you can create products as opposed to offers as opposed to just products. So I hope you found that useful. Remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you're never going to live on your own terms. Look out for this offer once we're finished. It's in my remote property investing community. We've done one of the landing pages on there. We're doing a little vote at the moment. If you don't mind, if you jump across to my remote property investing community and just vote on which colour you think's best, the blue background or the white background, that would really help us as well. But as I said, if you don't evolve your ideas, you're never going to live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms. Have a fantastic day, everyone.